Welcome to another edition of Talkin' Business. I'm Joey Trombley. On the camera is the founding father of Hometown Cable himself, Calvin Castine. And today our travels have taken us on the 25th day of June 2012 to the J&R Auto Salvage here on the, what road are we on?
LaForest Road.
The LaForest Road here, I guess West Shazy.
No, Moore's.
Is Moore's that?
Moore's.
So you're right on that line then.
Right on the line, yeah.
Well, I'm talking to Jim Cayea. He's the proprietor here of J&R Auto place here, J&R Auto Salvage. Now, and how many years have you been here, Jim?
31.
31 years. And Calvin started the show, I think, showing that nice Chrysler Classic there with the old fins sticking out. We don't see that nowadays, do we, Jim?
You don't see very many, trust me.
Now, what year is that vehicle?
That's a 61.
Okay, it's right on the windshield, 61. And that is for sale.
Yes, it is.
Okay, I see a price tag. I didn't know if that's how you got it.
Nope, that's for sale for that price. It's a good price.
And how many classics do you have here?
No, a few, not too many. The one next to it is a 60, is 61 also, and it's a slant 6 3-speed.
Slant 6 3-speed, another classic.
You won't see too many of them.
You know, Calvin, I don't quite remember those cars back in 1961. Well, I was around, but I was more into a tricycle, not even a tricycle, and a baby buggy at that time. But I see Calvin standing there, and it looks to me, Jim, like Hurricane Irene threw some cars on top of those buses.
Yeah, no, it wasn't that. We put them up there with the loader.
But yeah, just to try to find some room for them?
No, it's just preserve them. You know, there's no grass grows, and it keeps their bottom from rusting, you know.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah.
And then I see you have a fondness for school buses?
Yeah, we use keeps parts in the school buses a lot, you know.
Okay.
Keeps them out of the weather, and you know.
So I'm assuming that maybe I'm assuming that the auto body shops and businesses like that come to you for parts.
Right. Auto body and most of the people, you know, that need stuff come here. I've been here 31 years, so most everybody knows where we are. You know?
And even for newer models and stuff.
Well, we're not into the real late model stuff because it costs so much, and we don't have the clientele for it here, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So we try to just do what we can, you know, keep going.
Now, like of course, the older vehicles, it was the metal and stuff like that. Now, the newer vehicles are more plastic, isn't it?
Yes, they are. They get lighter every year.
And do you don't offer that at all, or you do?
What's that?
Let's say you got a 2008 vehicle that was brought in here. Do the dealer or the auto body shops try to come in and get parts off of that?
Yes,
too?
they do, but I don't have too many 2008s. You know, I mostly have 2004s, 3s, 1s. You know,
and
around
older.
there. Yeah, and older. Yeah.
Okay. And these are all wrecked vehicles that find their way.
Well, not always wrecked. Sometimes they have frame damage. You know, like rust underneath, and I'll they don't pass inspection. Some of them, and some of them are been in a slight accident. You know, and people don't want to fix them or they can't.
Now, at a certain point when a vehicle has run its life and there's nothing else to grab out of it, what do you do with that old vehicle?
Well, it goes in for scrap.
Okay.
Yeah.
And somebody comes in and picks that up from you?
Yes, we have a guy that comes here most of the time and crushes like 100 at a time or something like that, or 200, you know.
But they don't crush them here?
Yeah, they do.
Oh, they do crush them?
Yeah, they bring a portable crusher here and they do that here.
And they fill up the flatbed and off they go?
Yep. They go on a flatbed truck and go to Montreal.
Now, you mentioned that you have like half the cars that you had before.
Yeah, well, after they had the cash for clunkers, my business went pretty bad, you know, because they took off all the cars I was selling parts to. You know what I mean? They took them all off the road.
Right.
And then I had a lot of cars, but nobody to sell parts to. So my business really went down in the basement for quite a while. I'm recycling and trying to get back in the game, you know.
Mm-hmm. Now, over the 31 years, have you had to evolve in your business as far as adding things that you do, or has it been pretty much the same all the way through?
Well, pretty much the same, you know, pretty steady, you know.
So nothing new that you can add to the. I mean, salvage is salvage, right?
Yeah.
Okay, and it's strictly just automobiles.
Automobiles and trucks and you know, stuff like that.
And then you're the only owner here, but you do hire a couple employees.
Yes, I have 2 employees.
Okay, and that's year round.
Year round, yeah.
Now this is a big area. How many acres do you have here?
I have 55 acres, but I've subtracted 2 from my neighbor Danny and 2 for myself, so I have 51 acres of land that I could use for the salvage yard, and I'm using about probably 25 acres of it.
About half of it.
About half of it.
That was my next question for you. Now, anything else you want to share with us while we're at least at this location? 'Cause I'm sure we're going to want to go around and see what else you have here.
Well, we have different lots. Like this is the GM lot over here, you know.
Okay.
And then we have a Ford lot and
Oh, so you break them up that way?
yeah, a pickup lot, you know, and we keep the Chevys and the Fords and so on and so forth all together, so it's easy to find parts, you know.
Okay. Now, is it just Chevy and Ford? You have Chrysler, obviously.
Oh
I see
yeah,
Chrysler
everything,
there.
yeah, and they can drive anywheres in here. The roads are always about like you see here, you know, so they can drive anywheres in the lot, you know, to look around.
Now, if somebody comes to you looking for a part, are you able, if you don't have it, are you able to go online and try to find it?
No, we don't do that, unfortunately, you know. No, we don't do that.
But that could be done, though.
It could be done,
It's
yes.
just something you've elected not to do.
Yeah,
Okay. Either you have it or you don't.
yeah, either we have it or we don't.
So do you get a lot of individuals coming here looking for parts?
Yes, a lot of individuals.
A lot of people still like to work on their own vehicles, huh?
Yeah, a lot of people still do, yeah. And I sell to a few body shops, you know, like Trombley and people like that. They come here.
Okay.
Mike Nutt's been one of my best customers ever since I opened.
Well, Mike's almost a neighbor.
Yeah, he is. He is
He's not
almost
that
a
far.
neighbor,
Matter of
yeah.
fact, we did a show with Mike's auto
Did you?
body. Yeah.
Yeah, he's
We enjoyed that.
really good people.
Oh my God! Yeah.
Yeah,
They're
yeah,
salt of the earth.
yeah.
Now here we got this big boy right here that we're standing next to here. I know you offered to move it for us. This John Deere, and it says
Yeah.
Rick Cody Excavating.
Well, that's who I bought it from.
Okay. So you bought this from Rick. Okay.
Yeah.
And this is a working unit that you use right
Yes,
now.
it's a working unit. It's a bucket loader. We use it for a lot of things and snow removal in the winter, you know, and
Okay. Now you say snow removal for here.
for here.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you're not in the snow removal business.
No, we just it's a job just keeping this place.
Okay. I know before we got on the air there, we were talking about, of course, my dad and being a Perry's Miller, and you're an old Champlain boy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Church
so-
Street, Champlain.
Church Street, Champlain. We're the suburbs living in Perry's Mills.
Yeah, yeah. Suburbs of Champlain.
Suburbs of Champlain. Where does the time go, right?
Yeah,
Now I see a big unit over there. Is basically the same unit like this.
yeah. That's a forklift to carry the cars. You know, This
Okay.
has got a bucket, you know, carry debris or whatever you need to carry.
Okay.
And that's a forklift. It's got big 6-foot forks to pick up the cars and put them where you want them. You know.
Okay. Now is that the only one that you have for a forklift?
Yeah, that's the only one we have operating right now.
And then that's your shop there.
Yeah.
Does that also count as your office too?
Yes.
Calvin's
there's
gonna
a
come
little
around and show
little
it.
corner. That's the office.
Okay. So everything takes place
It's
right in there.
separated, yeah.
Okay. And now your hours of business.
It's 8 till 5 Monday through Friday and 8 till 3 on Saturday.
Okay. So 6 days a week.
6 days a week.
Any time off for holidays?
Yeah, we take holidays off.
Okay. Well, I know being an independent.
And we never work Sundays.
Never. Okay.
Yeah, never
Yeah.
work Sundays.
Good for you.
We get a lot of calls on Sunday, but we tell them every week, nope, sorry, we never open on Sundays.
Saturdays from 8 to 3 if you want to get us on the
That's
weekend.
enough. That's enough.
Well, 6 days is a long time.
Yes, it's
Yeah.
plenty.
You need a day for yourself to rejuvenate
Yes,
yourself.
you need a day to
Recoup.
recuperate.
Exactly. We got somebody coming in now.
Yep.
We'll get out of their way.
Chance to be on television there.
Another old customer?
Yes, he's been with me quite a few years. He's from Paris Mills.
Oh, who's that?
Oh. Yeah, I can't think of his name right now, but I know he's from Paris Mills.
I mean, I take interest because that's where I grew up. So I was
He
like,
does mechanic work.
up in Perry's
He lives
Mills.
right across from where Kaufman's store used to be there.
Oh, yeah. Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Of course, I think of Kurt Fineff when you say that.
Yeah, no, Kirk lives across from.
Oh, is it Thibodeau?
No, I can't think of his name right now, but
It'll come to you.
it'll come.
It will come to you. Only on hometown cable. as we go live here, I see a lot of tires and stuff. Do you collect tires for the farmers? Do they come here looking for them, or is it you get rid of those too?
It cost me $55,000 a few years back to get rid of my tires. Believe it or not.
$55,000.
Yes, $55,000. I had most of the tires I had since I started the business, and the state come in and fined me $5,000 because I had too many tires, which I didn't even know I couldn't have. You know.
But don't farmers have a need for that? I mean, they're always
Yes,
putting
they
them on.
do, and like I did fix farmers up with a few loads, but don't forget I've been in business 31 years, so I gathered a lot of tires, you know.
Right.
And the state come in and they give me a year to get rid of my tires, and I was trying to find a reasonable place to do it because, you know, and I couldn't find one. And finally, when the deadline was up, I had to ship them all to Connecticut. It cost me $50,000 for the tires and $5,000 fine. So
Wow.
yeah, that's the truth.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Well-
Wow. That's amazing. So how many tires are you allowed?
I'm allowed 1,000 tires in a business size. Can you believe that?
Just 1,000.
That's 1,000.
So you're constantly looking for people to take your tires then?
Well, what we do now is we bring them to Earth Management, Earth Waste in Morrisonville,
Mm-hmm.
or they bring a container here and we put them in a container, and then when it's full, they change containers and give us another one.
Now, do they take them free from you?
No, we
You gotta
pay
pay
'em.
to get rid
We
of 'em.
pay 'em.
So you're constantly
But-
paying to get rid of these tires then?
Constantly paying to get rid of the tires. Yeah.
And what do they do with them? Recycle them?
They recycle them. I think they go to Montreal and they're burned in that big cement place on the way to Montreal. They've been burning tires for years and nobody knew it. You know, I mean, it's clean coming out of the stack. You can't tell.
Okay. So you get over 31 years, you must have some interesting stories that have taken place here.
Yes.
Any that you want to share on Hometown Cable?
Probably not.
It definitely brought a smile to your face. We can't go public with it?
Probably not.
Probably not. Okay. As far as it seems pretty well secured in here, so there's really not a problem with people trying to come in here after hours, and
Yeah, that's quite a problem.
it is still a problem.
Still quite a problem. Yeah.
Should we tell them about your 16 Rottweilers here, that just in case they come through?
Well, I wish I did have 16 because I could use all of them.
Should we let them know that you have cameras set up into the trees and stuff?
Yeah, we do now. Yeah,
Yeah.
but we didn't have before.
Right. We almost have to do that.
Yeah.
Or I shouldn't. Who knows where they are? But you got obviously security cameras around
Yeah.
to keep people.
Yeah, I
away.
have to.
Yeah. I mean that's a shame that people would actually do something like that.
Yeah.
But you got to be prepared for it.
Yeah.
And we have moved to another part of the 25 acres of Salvage here with Jim. And Jim, your love of cars, obviously you're in the business, and we're going to get into your racing career there a little bit too for the folks who probably didn't know. I didn't know until you just told me off camera. How did you decide to get into this business?
Well, I always had several cars in my yard, and I was always mechanic for this one and that one. And I just like cars, and I just finally decided I should start a salvage yard. When I was in Vermont, the state got after me several times to get rid of my cars because I had too many. And I said, well, I guess I got to start a salvage yard because that's the type of person I was. I love cars and I love to tinker with them.
So, I mean, you had no knowledge of this business when you got into it.
None.
It was just learn as you go?
Learn as you go, yeah.
So there was no places to go to, like seminars or things like that,
No,
to learn the tricks of the
not
trade?
that I knew of. There probably was, but I didn't know of any, and I just started a little bit at a time. I started very small,
Mhm.
had a lot of rough years, kept growing, and wound up like this.
So now, how do you go about acquiring a car? Did you go to an auction, or I don't know, to buy these cars up, or people search you out?
No, they call me pretty steady. Like, I've got cars to pick up right now. When I get done
Mm-hmm.
with here, I'll be picking up cars again. That's what I get calls all day long generally,
So is it more like somebody brings a car to the auto body shop thinking they can get it fixed, and the auto body guy says you can't do it, and they tell the person to give you a call?
That's right.
That's
and
pretty
if
much
they
how it
go
works.
in to get their car inspected and then the frame's a little bad and they're, something don't pass, I get a lot of cars from that.
Now, what's the secret? I know if I came to you and have a vehicle, how do you know what to offer me for that vehicle? Is there a
Well-
Kelly Blue Book, or you look at what's salvageable? And
I look what's salvageable, and I pay more than the people that just scrap them, because
Okay.
I sell parts.
Right.
And most people try to bring them here, that know.
Mhm.
But some people don't realize that I pay more than the...
Okay.
than the scrap places because I sell parts. I'm in the parts business.
So every car, it could basically be different
Every car
depending
is
on what
different.
you can
There's
sell
no
off.
flat rate, you know.
Okay.
There's no flat rate.
I mean, obviously there's a certain
If-
profit margin you want to make per car.
Yes. And if a car has 4 new tires, of course you can give somebody more because you'll sell them. Even though you don't get new prices, you still get.
Right.
You're going to sell them for sure, so that obviously can give them more, you know.
Sure. Okay. And
People looking for tires?
yeah, well, if you're looking for tires, give Jim a call. I mean, I'm sure you got a supply of tires now.
I'll be honest with you, that's my biggest item I sell.
Is tires.
It's hard to believe, eh?
Yeah, it would be.
You know, you'd think it would be car parts or this or that, but we probably sell more tires than anything.
That was going to be my next question. What is your biggest thing that you sell off a vehicle? But you just said it is tires.
Yeah, tires. Yeah.
But I mean, pretty much everything. I mean, from the headlights to steering wheels.
You sell
to-
stuff that you don't even dream of. You know, like I've picked up S10s with the fork loader, and they almost float away because there's nothing left. You know,
Right.
they buy little things that you can't even think of, but they
Mufflers,
just,
old mufflers.
Yeah, but not only mufflers, like little components under the hood and things you can't even imagine. Things selling, but you sell everything. It's amazing.
Now there's a market for it.
Yeah.
Now people probably just don't buy parts just to work on their cars. Maybe they like to put something up for decorative in their houses and stuff. Do you see any of that
Well,
kind of
I don't
stuff?
think they sell too much of that stuff for that, but you never know. You know,
Who knows what they do with it, right?
right?
Now, when we were off camera there, you were quite a racer in your day.
Yes, so I was.
Now, I said 70s and 80s, and you said you raced the 60s and 70s.
Yeah, late 60s, 70s, and 80s.
The
Yeah.
early 80s.
Yeah.
And that was
I raced
Airborne?
20 years at Airborne, and I raced in Fairhaven in Vermont, Milton, Vermont, when the track was open. And,
Now, were you racing once a week, or were you doing
and I
more than
raced
that?
Canada, well, 2-3 times a week a lot of times, you know.
Wow.
I used to go in Canada, and they'd pay us more in Canada to show up than they did in Plattsburgh to win.
Oh, really? Just to
Yeah.
get you there?
Just to get you there, yeah. They'd give us more. I raced for 65 to win in Plattsburgh at the time, and in Canada give us $100 just to show up there at the
What
track,
was it-
plus what we
What
won.
was the purse if you won back
Well,
then?
In Canada?
Yeah.
The purse was probably $200, you know.
Wow.
I mean, it wasn't a lot, but it was more than what we got in Plattsburgh, and they got 100 to show up, you know.
I assume when you race, you had to have a pit crew with you.
Yes, I've always had a couple. My son helped me out a lot.
And how many would be there at the race with you?
Oh, probably 5, 6.
You'd have that many in your pit crew?
No, not in the pit crew, but the families.
Oh,
all
family
go to the
watching. But
stands
as far as
and-
when you came
Oh,
off
just 2 or 3 generally.
okay. Now, were the races long enough where you had to come off for a pit stop, or is that
No, most of the races were short.
20, 30 laps?
Yeah, 30 lappers most. Once in a while we'd run a 100 lapper, you know.
Now, 30 laps, was that quarter-mile track?
Well, Plattsburgh's a half mile, and most Catamount was a 3rd mile. There was another half mile in Fairhaven, you know,
Okay.
different link tracks, you know.
And how many how many cars can race at any given time when you were doing it
Well, generally it was like 25, 30 cars at one time
on the track?
on the track, yeah.
And how wide is the track?
Well, Plattsburgh, it's probably about 3.5, 4 cars wide at that time, you know.
Okay.
You know,
So it's not real easy on a short race to pass a lot of vehicles.
no,
then.
it's not.
So you have to have the pedal to the metal, I'm assuming.
I did real well racing, and I always started dead last. You know, I mean, it seems like they always started me dead last. And one time I went to Fairhaven to race, and they started me on the pole. I was lost. They started me up front, and I just was lost. I didn't have to pass anybody. It just was a shock to me, you know.
The rumor has it you didn't know what a brake was, that you just put the pedal to the metal and you were at it.
Well, I won a lot of races. I had a lot of fun racing. It was the best 20 years of my life.
Oh,
It
my
really
God.
was.
I guess your chief rival and your good friends to this day was Carter?
Lee Carter.
Lee Carter. You
Senior, yeah. He
Yeah,
was.
senior, yeah.
We raced lap by lap, or side by side. He was always on the outside. I was always on the inside.
You guys weren't rubbing rubber together, were you?
A little, but the tin would rub once in a while, and he'd shake my hand if I'd beat him, and I'd shake his hand if he beat me. We were good friends, and we raced hard.
So you weren't afraid to bump each other,
No, we weren't afraid. You know,
but you could bump and shake.
As a
hands.
matter of fact, the night that car flipped over, I dented Lee's rear quarter because I knew he was tipping toward me, and I had to get over as far as I could because he come down and he crushed my left fender, and I bumped Lee's rear quarter, and Lee let up, and I won the championship by 2 points. Lee talks about it every time I see him. He'll never forget that.
He wishes he never let up.
Yeah, he did and I didn't.
And he laughs today about the same way.
No, yeah. No, he was a good friend. Still is.
Wow. So
Yeah.
you raced for 20 years, you said?
20 years.
Wow. And it probably went by fast.
And I quit racing when I started this business because, racing takes a lot of time.
So you weren't doing this at all during your racing career?
No.
Not even toward the tail end?
No. I had a few cars in the yard, like I told you, but when I started this salvage yard, I quit racing.
Now, were you running your race car out of this area too? Were you working on your vehicle here?
No.
No, this wasn't
No.
what was taking place. Okay.
No. I lived in Vermont when I worked when I was
So you came
racing.
back and bought this property?
Yeah.
Okay. And it was just
It was
acreage.
woods.
It was just acreage.
Just woods.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you had to clear all this stuff out of here.
I cleared it all.
Yeah, that's some work in itself.
Yes, it was.
Do you use firewood at all?
Yes, we do. We burn wood in that garage, and we got a lot of wood here.
I was going to say you probably have all the wood that you need here.
Yeah.
So when things get a
It's
little
the
slow,
fine time to cut it, but
so if things get a little slow, you send the boys out to cut some wood for you.
yeah. Yeah, we heat the garage with wood.
Now, what did you what vehicle did you race back then?
Well, I started out with a '57 Ford, and I raced that for a few years, and then I went to Dodges for a while. Geez, I had good luck with Dodges.
Now, what made you go from the transition from Ford to a Dodge?
Well, the rules. The Dodges were allowed a 383, and Chevys were allowed 283. That's a lot of spot.
Why is that?
I don't know. That's what they put in the rules. So I decided Dodge would be the best way to go, and it was. I won a lot of races.
With the Dodge?
Yeah.
More than with the Ford?
Yeah.
Well,
I don't know. I won just as many with the Ford, I think. But, competition kept getting keener through the years.
So,
and the Dodge was a
so
big
back
edge.
in that era, were you the king of the road at the racetrack?
Well, I showed the way a lot of times.
You held your own, is that it?
When I was there, they knew they were in trouble.
So were you the Dale Earnhardt of our area?
Probably.
What was your color? Was your color the same? What was the color of your vehicle?
Blue.
So when they saw that blue in the back of the rearview mirror, they were going, "Oh God!"
Yeah, and then my Dodges were mostly red.
Okay.
Yeah.
What number? Yeah. What was your number?
Number 3.
Well, there you have it. There's another familiar number.
And I didn't pick it from Dale Earnhardt. He got his number from me, I think.
Oh, Jim, I love it.
I'll tell you, I saw Carl Bug Stevens race at Catamount one time, and number 3, he did well, and that's why I got the number from.
Number 3. All right. It's a very popular number in the race car circuit there, Calvin.
Yeah.
So, Dale Earnhardt got the number from you. You heard it right here on Hometown Cable. I mean, it's amazing what you hear on Hometown Cable.
Well, he probably didn't, but I thought I'd throw that in.
Well, one reason that we do these shows, Jim, is that we're trying to expose the local businesses to the area. And this was Calvin's brainchild last fall, actually.
Yeah.
And, a lot of people don't know you're here. And even though you've been
It's
here 31 years.
It's amazing. Like, I'll get calling and people can't find a place and never heard of it,
And after 31 years, you think, really?
Yeah, but
You're off the beaten path, kind of.
Yeah, maybe, and new in the area, and Plattsburgh area, and Peru, and a lot of people don't know we're here yet.
Yeah, well, it's on, what's the road here? LaForest Road. I should know that. LaForest Road. And what number LaForest Road?
It's 291 LaForest Road.
291 LaForest Road. And if people are watching this and they want to contact you, what's your phone number here?
It's 236-5287.
236-5287. Okay. That's good. Well, like I was saying, we want to expose the local business, and it's all about local businesses supporting each other, and then in turn, the local business supports the communities, and the money circulates.
Sure.
And so we're trying to expose businesses that people really don't know about, or
I think
they know about it and they kind of forgot about it.
I think that's a really good thing that you and Calvin are doing.
Well, I appreciate it, but this was Calvin. I can't take any credit for this. Calvin, like I say, Calvin is the founding father. He's the brains behind this operation.
But you help him, so that's good too.
Well, thank you. I enjoy doing it with him. We have a lot of fun together, and of course, people who watch this regularly know the history with Calvin and I. We're actually cousins. You probably knew that, huh?
No, Calvin told me this morning.
Yeah, and our mother's twin sisters.
Is that right?
Yeah, yeah. Aunt Carol and, my mother Noella. So Noella and Carol, and they were born on Christmas Day.
Oh,
and
gee.
hence the names. So.
And I married a twin too.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's a small world here. But again, I'm Joey Trombley, and I want to take this time too, I got Jim here, to appeal to the viewers of Hometown Cable. And it is not funded by state or federal money. It's all by local funds, either businesses or viewers like yourself. And if you're enjoying this show, or any show that Calvin puts on, I mean, it's thousands upon thousands of shows through the years. And Calvin, I know I asked you this, and have you hit the 8,000 mark yet on the internet? 7,900. So we're going to have a big party probably when he gets to 8,000. But he has over, I think, 16,000 programs, give or take, in that area that he's constantly putting on the internet. And this show here will be posted tonight on the internet, hometowncablenetwork.com or Plattsburgh.com, both. And it'll be running on the access channels for Hometown Cable, not Hometown Cable, but Roadrunner and Time Warner and Charter. Okay, and so if you can make a donation on the internet, you can go to hometowncablenetwork.com or Plattsburgh.com, make a donation through the PayPal account, or you can send a check to Calvin at 1477 Ridge Road, Champlain, New York, 12919. And if you're a small business and you want to be exposed to this program like Jim did today, give Calvin a call. It's 298-HOME or 298-4663. Now, the only reason I remembered the number was I called Calvin this morning to remind him that we're going on today. And a little side joke here is last week we were supposed to do the show at 11, and you had to cancel out. So Calvin says, I'll see you next week. I thought it was 11, but my email back to him, I said, I'll see you at 10, because we usually do the shows at 10. So I got here 18 minutes, I said early. Calvin said 42 minutes late. So he was here at 10. I thought it was 11. So
it's like you look at the glass half full or half empty, you know?
So we have fun with it. Thank God you had a good attitude for me being late, Calvin. I appreciate that too. And so again, support Hometown Cable. Calvin does wonderful work here, and it's neat to meet guys like Jim here. And Calvin's waving to me. Yeah, Calvin wanted to just switch the locations and show you more of these 25 acres of all the different vehicles that are here. And while we're talking too off camera, Jim, if people want to know if you have parts, they're best to call you ahead of time to see if you have it, right?
Yes, they're better to call, and we will check and then call them back. That way they're not wasting gas running the roads, you know.
Right, and also if somebody has an old car they want to get rid of, they can call you to purchase the car
They
from.
can call me. That's what we do. You know, we buy old cars for parts. And
Now, I assume you like them to run the vehicle up here for take a
no,
look
not
at it?
always. No, they can call me and I'll stop by and look at it at
Okay.
their place. I pick them up too. You know, a lot of people don't realize that. You know,
So you're like a doctor in the old day. You do house calls.
I do house calls. Yeah.
Now, see, you don't see that too often nowadays. You know, good service here with Jim Cayea. And what's your market? How far do you go?
Oh, I go within probably 50 miles around. You know.
About a 50-mile radius.
Yeah, I've been to Lake Placid, Saranac Lake.
52 miles, you might do the same thing.
Yeah, yeah. I stretch it a little bit once.
You'll
in a while.
stretch it once in a while if it makes sense, right?
Yeah, if it's a good parts car,
Sure.
I don't mind traveling.
Sure. Okay, so I mean, give Jim a call if you want parts, see if he has it, or if you have a vehicle you want to get rid of, give Jim a call. And again, the number is
236-5287.
326-522.
236.
What did I say? 236
5287.
Okay. we're having a lot of fun doing this show today,
yeah,
Jim.
we're having fun. That's all that matters. Right?
Well, you know what's neat when we're doing this show? I mean, Calvin will get an idea and he'll stop the camera, and then we talk about it and we come back. So we can keep it going that way. So it works out. I can't think of all the questions to ask sometimes, and his mind's going a mile a minute. And then oh yeah, he's shaking his head now.
He's a walking computer.
Oh, he's a walking computer. There's no doubt about it. I'm surprised he can still use his right shoulder. For years, he always had it hung on his right shoulder. But then he's got a tripod now, so
Yeah.
it makes life a little bit
When
easier.
he had it hung
Oh,
on
yeah.
his shoulder.
Yeah, back when he started, I think your racing career was coming to an end, because this was back in what, Calvin, 1980? 83?
Yeah, mine was coming to an end.
Were you racing in 83?
I don't remember, to be honest.
Okay. But yeah, I know Calvin wasn't doing race car driving. At that time, you were just doing sporting events, weren't you? Okay. And Calvin, on any given day, how many shows could you be programming?
What do you mean?
Well, events that you'd be going to.
Sometimes one, sometimes five.
It depends on the schedule.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But he does everything. And again, hometowncablenetwork.com or Plattsburgh.com. There's almost 8,000 different programs going back for years, and just think of the history that he's captured.
Oh my, yeah.
The Press Republican today, they talked about the flood of last year, and they had, I'm sure Calvin saw it, they had a spot there where you can actually go and see the video. They had some good video of that flood. I mean, that's history for us.
No, that's history.
And it's captured on Hometown Cable. And again, another reason why we appeal to you to support Hometown Cable is that's Calvin's livelihood. That's how he makes his living, and he can't do it for free. And he travels all over the place. And so anybody that can send a donation, I know it's the second appeal during this show, but I feel very strongly about supporting Calvin and his cause. And I hear all the time people that love not just this program, but all the programs that he does. And the only way we can keep it there, people support him. So hopefully you'll feel compelled from hearing us. And I like to call it preserving the North Country treasures, North Country memories.
That's good. You guys do good work.
Well, Jim, we appreciate it. And we are at J&R Auto Salvage here on the LaForest Road. I'm with Jim Cayea, and it's been a real pleasure today, Jim, for you to open your doors for us.
It's been a pleasure.
I've had some good laughs with you, and I appreciate that.
Yeah.
I'm Joey Trombley. On the camera is Calvin Castine, and next week we'll be doing another show. I'm not sure where, but you'll know about it next week. We'll see you later.